Kwon has been helping us explore the particular challenges that Asian Americans can face. He won last season's Survivor. A big change from what we saw in Survivor. First of all, you're wearing clothes.
I am. Yeah, I'm not used to it.
Which you guys didn't do a lot of in Cook Islands. Why did you decide to get involved in this project?
Well, I've always felt that Asian Americans really haven't had a voice in mainstream media and that our issues tend to be overlooked. So I thought it was important to try to bring out some of the issues and challenges we face as a community to a broader audience. All the issues that we'll be covering in the series are ones that I can relate to on a personal level because I've struggled with them.
And Yul, thanks for stopping by.
Thank you.
We look forward to seeing your report.
How hard has it been to try to convince the studios to let you cast Asian American actors?
It's not a question of talent, it's a question of opportunity. What I've learned is that at the end of the day, it is business.
But there have been signs of change, most recently on television with Mazi Oka's popular character on NBC's Heroes, and Yoon Jin Kim and Daniel Dae Kim as a Korean couple on ABC's Lost. Do you think we're getting to a point where eventually we will have that breakout star?
It's not going to happen overnight, but with every positive representation or every real character that's on television, it's a major step forward.
I think it's terrific that we're starting to see more complex and fully developed characters on television. At the same time, I think it's clear that we still have a long way to go. If you look at the Asian male characters on Lost and Heroes, as popular as they are, they're still depicted as foreigners. They're Asians as opposed to Asian Americans.
I definitely see myself being like a CEO as well, or being part of a Fortune 500 company.
Ambitious goals. These UCLA students have already succeeded academically, but will they professionally? As a whole, Asian Americans are highly educated, with 50% of adults holding college degrees. But when it comes to senior executive positions in corporate America, they hold less than 1%. What did you do right as opposed to other Asian Americans that you saw within your own cohort?
I don't consider myself, maybe this is my Asianness, right? I don't know that I've succeeded in any particular way.
For me, the most dramatic example where there was a mismatch between my cultural background and my environment happened when I was in officer candidate school for the Marine Corps. So in the Marine Corps, you're supposed to stand up straight, stick your chest out, look straight ahead, and shout at the top of your lungs. I was raised as a Korean in a very traditional Asian household, and I was always taught that in front of a social superior, you take a very submissive posture, you look at the floor, and you never raise your tone of voice.
Exactly.
And that was being misinterpreted as a lack of discipline. Professor Jerry Kang of UCLA Law School says racial diversity is vital to higher education.
The social psychological evidence is compelling.
But critics say efforts by universities to ensure representation from all ethnic groups comes at a cost to Asian Americans.
Did anything having to do with the fact that you were Asian American give you an advantage in your opinion?
I don't know if it was an advantage. I think there are things that I've learned over the course of my professional life, and these are things that we talked about in the glass ceiling piece. I think as an Asian American, I've learned to become very conscious of the way that I appear to other people. And as a result of that, I've learned how to modify my behavior to relate to people that I'm working with. So in this particular instance on Survivor, I was able to apply a lot of the skills that I learned in order to try to build a very unified team and lead from behind the scenes.
How did your parents and many parents from that generation define success?
I think success is defined monetarily, but in a lot of Asian cultures, social status is also very key.
And what sort of professions were taboo?
Well, my parents always taught me that smart kids got PhDs and became professors, dumb kids dropped out of school and became politicians, or worse yet, actors. So in my case, when I went to law school and told them I wanted to get involved in political activism, they were mortified. And when I told them I was going to go on a reality show, my dad almost had a heart attack.
You talked when you were on Survivor about trying to be out in the public eye to kind of change stereotypes of Asian Americans.
Right.
What do you think those stereotypes are?
I think the perception is that Asian Americans, especially Asian American men, are math geeks. They lack social skills, they lack leadership skills. Either that or they're kung fu masters, who could kick butt, but they can't speak English.
And how do you go about changing that?
Well, I think the way to change it is to show people that you're an individual, and that's why I went on a reality show. The great thing about a reality show is that, unlike scripted shows, even though you might be cast as a stereotype, in which case I think I was, you don't have to act according to a script. You can be whoever you want. You can show people that you can be smart and athletic and be articulate all at the same time.
Kwon, it's fascinating. Appreciate you being on the program.
Absolutely.
Thanks.